A few days ago, I mentioned that bibliotherapy is not really about fixing people, it's about accompaniment. And I think nowhere is that more obvious than when we are talking about loneliness. Because loneliness is one of those experiences people tend to oversimplify. We often talk about it as though it's just the absence of company. You're alone, therefore, you're lonely. Problem solved. Except most adults eventually discover that's not how it works. You can spend an evening with people you genuinely like and still come home lonely. You can be surrounded by colleagues, family members, neighbors, group chats, notifications, and endless opportunities for communication and still feel profoundly alone. Which suggests loneliness is not always about being by yourself. Sometimes it's about feeling unseen, or misunderstood, or disconnected from the people around you. Sometimes it's the feeling that nobody quite understands the thing you are carrying. And that is where books become interesting. One of the most quoted lines about reading, which is also most certainly misattributed to C.S. Lewis, is that we read to know we are not alone. The source might be uncertain, but the feeling is not. People quote it so often that it's almost become invisible. But I think we are on to something. Not because books magically eliminate loneliness, they don't. You finish the novel and your life is still your life. Your circumstances are still your circumstances. The difficult conversation still needs to happen, the grief is still there, the uncertainty hasn't disappeared. What changes is something else: recognition. You discover that another human being has stood somewhere similar. Perhaps not in the same situation, but in the same emotional territory. And that matters. I think about this every time I come across a passage that feels uncomfortably accurate. The kind that makes you put the book down for a moment, not because it's beautiful, but because it's familiar. You read a sentence and think, just a small oh. It's not a revelation, just recognition. Somebody else knew this feeling, somebody else noticed this, somebody else found words for it. And suddenly, the experience becomes less isolating. One of the reasons literature is so effective at this is because it often reaches experiences that are difficult to discuss directly. People can struggle to talk about loneliness. They can struggle to explain grief or uncertainty, shame, regret. A novel can approach these things sideways. A poem can say something in 10 lines that a conversation cannot quite reach. An essay can articulate a feeling you've been carrying around for months without naming. And once something has language, it becomes far more easier to share, easier to think about, easier to live alongside. This is the one reason I don't think bibliotherapy is really about recommendations. Not primarily, it's about connection. The right book is not valuable because it's objectively the best book. It's valuable because it meets a reader where they are, and sometimes that meeting changes everything. Not in a life-altering way, more often in a quiet way, the kind where you close a book and feel slightly less alone than you did before. Which doesn't sound particularly impressive until you've experienced genuine loneliness. Because then it sounds enormous. I also think readers sometimes underestimate how common this experience is. Most people have a book like this, a book that arrived at exactly the right moment, a book they remember because of when they read it, a book that felt less like entertainment and more like company. Whenever people tell me about these books, they're rarely talking about literary quality. They're talking about relationships. what the book meant, what it understood, what it accompanied them through. And honestly, I think that's one of literature's greatest strengths. Not teaching, not improving, not optimizing, accompanying, staying beside people while they move through difficult periods of their lives, which is a different thing entirely. If you've ever finished a book and felt strangely grateful to a person you've never met, I suspect you already know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll come back tomorrow. I hope you do too.